Hey y'all, it's Courtney, and I am back with another video. And today, I am going to invite you all to use your critical thinking skills with me. And we're going to critically think about Critically K. Now, I asked you guys on Twitter if anybody had ever heard of her, and most of you said, I have no idea who that is. I think she has about 12.3k followers right now. And I thought more people would know who she was because you guys know that our drama community and the true crime community have kind of fused together over time. And I've seen Making Lemonade made a video about her that I watched. I've heard her talk about Oni. So I know that she's right around the perimeter of us, but I think that she thinks she's too YouTube famous for, to be associating with the likes of our community, because she really does think she's famous. She was mad because, well, she made a stream saying that she's YouTube famous because they used a clip of her calling Shanann Watts a bitch on a Netflix documentary, and she was mad that she didn't get credited for it. You are mad that you didn't get credited to call a murder victim a bitch. A, sleazy bitch, to be precise. She said it multiple times. I have a text message right here of her saying that Shanann Watts, and I know a lot of this is old, but I never heard of this woman. I have dove headfirst into a rabbit hole the last few days. The only reason why I even found out about this woman is because I was watching Chambers of My Heart. And listen, I know Chambers is not perfect. I know that she's released things that she later like deleted or whatever because she changed her mind. Or as humans, we do change our minds. As humans, we go with our gut feeling off of what we know at this point. Now, later on, are you allowed to change your mind when you find more information? Of course. I mean, you're allowed to change your mind at any point. Anybody is allowed to change their mind about anything at any time. So I do know that Chambers has made some mistakes, and I'm not comparing the two, saying that, oh, Chambers is wonderful and she's down here. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that I heard her name in a Chambers of My Heart video the other day where they were talking about the Sophie case, and apparently a lot of YouTubers are releasing Sophie's personal medical documents, like her medical history, and Chambers was like, that's really crazy, especially with how traumatic things have been for her. My initial idea of the Sophie case still stands to this day with everything that I've found out. First off, I will say it's easy for somebody like me to dive in head first with their feelings, because I have been through something like this. I did have a child that was being abused and neglected, and I did fight for her for years and finally got full custody of her. She's been with us for a long time now. So it is easy for me to full-heartedly believe that these things happen because I know they do. I know how evil some people can be. I'm not calling, this person evil, but they had some issues, and they had no business raising children. So it's easy to believe that things like that happen, especially when you've been through it yourself. It goes right to your heart because it hits so close to home and you get it. So, I am not going to say that I've never fallen for it. I'm not saying that I know what's going on with that case, because you know what? The more that comes out, the more I'm like, they both seem like assholes, honestly. Or weirdos, I should say. So, but my original idea still stands. I think it's fucked up that people used her full name. I think it's fucked up that nobody had the respect or the whatever you want to call it to blur the girl's face out, so that one day, just maybe one day, she might be able to get a little bit of normalcy back. That's my main issue. And I gotta go get my daughter in 10 minutes, so I'm gonna try to hurry. Might have to get the rest of this on the road. But like I said, my initial idea still stands. I still think it's fucked up that they didn't blur out her name, didn't blur out her face, used her full name, blah blah blah. And that was my whole argument about the whole situation, and that's still my whole argument about the whole situation. Because if that would have been my daughter and they would have put her breakdowns online, plastered them everywhere, I would find whoever did it. I promise you that. So if it was somebody plastering my daughter's medical documents all over, wherever. So anyways, I heard her mention that Critical K was one of the people that put out Sophie's personal medical documents. And I was like, I think I've heard of that woman before. So I looked her up. Boy, oh boy, is she a ray of fucking sunshine. I'm telling you. She is a breath of fresh air. She's a sweetheart. If you can't tell, I'm being, she's something, man. This woman, first off, as I said, I asked you guys on Twitter, and there was like 5 or 6 people that interacted with that post that we had been talking back and forth. All of them went and looked her up, and all of them were like, oh my god, I had no idea who this person was, but Jesus, is bad. She is one of those people, like, she wants people to think critically, but only if you think critically in the same way she does. Only if you have the same opinion as her. If not, she literally calls you're a peasant if you don't have the same exact ideas as her. I mean, and I saw somebody get up on her panel, and they weren't even being rude. They were just disagreeing. And she literally booted them off. She's very condescending, she's very rude, she's very domineering. You can just tell she is not a pleasant person. But that doesn't even matter, because, like my friend said, I can deal with rude, I can deal with, condescending, and because, believe me, there's a few people in our own community that are rude and condescending, and, I still... What? Oh, okay. I don't know why I did that. Don't mind all the paint in my sink. This is where my husband does his paintbrushes. But I still watch them because I can get past that. That's just the way some people talk sometimes. But no, this goes much, much further. I'm going to let you hear a little clip right here, and I will give credit to this person in my pinned comments. I will let you... you guys can go click on that so you can hear the full video. But I would just want you to hear this clip.
YouTube is a filthy cesspool of scumbags and clowns. And I've always wanted to stay off of it. But you know what? Even if I just do this one time, just this one time where I vent to these pieces of shit about civility and how to treat one another, every time I've ever been on there and saw any video, it's nothing but disgusting hate and filth. I fucking hate it. I mean, YouTube appears to have become like this mindless Zerg fest of hate-filled zombies. Anytime I've ever been on there, and even on the simplest of videos, you have people fighting and bickering and being mean to one another. And, it's like, take this case in particular, some of the comments that are said about the people involved, even the commentary about Shanann, I cringe when I read some of it. Some of it is so dark.
You called her a sleazy bitch. Literally called Shanann, a murder victim, a sleazy bitch and a money grubber, and said that you don't even feel like she wanted those kids, and that she believes that Shanann could have possibly murdered the children, and that's why Chris Watts murdered her and hid all the bodies. She believes Chris Watts. she has like a hard on for murderers. She's always, I don't know if it's because it gets her more attention to go against the grain. Like, it seems like every case, when everybody has a certain idea and they know whatever about the case, she goes against the grain at every turn. And I don't know if it's just for the money and the views and the attention, because hey, any attention's attention, or good attention, bad attention, it's all attention, right? And we've all seen examples of that. But this, come on, man. Calling a murder victim a sleazy bitch, saying that a murder victim was raising snowflakes who are also murder victims now. Those babies are dead. How dare you? And then when somebody asks you what you mean by snowflakes, you say Shanann was raising these kids to think that they're gods, to think that they're better. They were babies, bro. And they're dead. They are gone. Their grandparents will never hold them again. Their grandparents will never hear their giggle again. Their grandparents will never get to meet the youngest, the one that she was pregnant with. They will never even get to lay eyes on him. She says that, Shanann was only there for the money and this and that, and just so much nasty stuff. Okay, so I'm going to play the rest of this, and then I'm going to pause this, and we'll talk about the rest on the way up to get my daughter.
And I'm just like, sometimes I sit there and I'm like, are these real people behind this, or are these bots?
I wonder the same thing about you.
Sometimes I have a hard time believing this is real people that have this much hate and, like, bitterness and rage inside them. It's kind of scary. Give these motherfuckers a YouTube lecture about civility that they've never heard.
So, civility. Yes, she wants to talk about civility. Alright, well, y'all give me just a second, and we'll go over some of her ideas of civility. Okay? Just a moment. Okay, so let's pause this. Okay, so here we go. So, this woman, let's talk about civility. This woman is known for making fun of disabled children. There's a woman who has children with microcephaly, which is where they're born with very small, underdeveloped brains, or their brains stop developing at birth. So these children are special needs, obviously. And she just has this thing about bringing up these kids as much as she possibly can to hurt the mother. Which, first off, gross. I've never seen anybody bring up her children. Out of all the people that I've seen calling her out, I've never seen her children brought up. Ever. So, the fact that that's one of the first things she goes for, especially with disabled children. I don't think I've ever seen her bring up somebody's child that wasn't a special needs child. So, she even went on the dark web and offered to show pictures of her boobs for people to find info on this woman who's obsessed with children with microcephaly. She has 2 of them. Why wouldn't that be something that she would want to know more about? Hello? Sorry, saying hi to my neighbors. I might have to pause this on my way up the hill. This is only the 3rd time I'm walking this hill, and it's been a long 6 months since the kids have been off school. This is what I have to walk up every day. Doesn't look that steep, but it's steep. It's hard to get up it in the winter. So yeah. Oh, and so the people on the dark web were like, nah. They saw right through her. They saw exactly what she was about. They saw that she was the nasty one. And, they wouldn't do what she wanted them to. Hold on, I'm gonna pause this. Alright, I'm standing back in the shade a little bit because it's very bright there. So yeah. So this woman is just so gross. I've heard people talk about how she says that Sophie is just a little brat, that she's just a bratty kid, and that she's lying, and lots of other beautiful things. She really reminds me of an angsty teenager that that gets a hard on for the Columbone boys, if you know what I'm saying. Like, she just wants to be edgy. And honestly, I don't even think it's that. I think it's that she sees how much attention she can get from being nasty. There's a lot of people like that here online. They would rather, instead of growing a good group of good people, they would rather get subscribers quick by being disgusting and getting hate watchers. And the fact that I saw so many people agreeing, to start with, I literally watched this girl for like 10 minutes or something. And that's whenever I made my initial tweet, because I did it twice, because the first time I don't think anybody saw it. But then I made one the next day too. It took me just a few minutes to realize that this was somebody that knows no boundaries. She will say whatever. She will do whatever. I don't know the book exactly. It's called Letters from Chris, I believe, about Chris Watts. And there was a woman that wrote the book, and she basically scammed the family and had them thinking that she was going to use the money that she made off of them to get him a lawyer and all this stuff. But she lied, which, hey, you know, he's a murderer, so he's in prison because he's a murderer. But point being, she sent Critical K she sent Critical K a copy of it. Hello. And Critical K leaked it, and then made her whole live stream feel guilty that she leaked it and that they read it and spread it, and told them that they needed to donate $5, $10, $20 to pay her for the amount that basically she lost in revenue from it being leaked. She's the one that leaked it. She is the one that shared it with a large group of people. I've also been told that she likes to dox people in her private groups or on her Facebook group. I saw how she talks about Shanann Watts's brother on there. I don't give a shit if I like MLMs or not. I don't. I don't agree with MLMs. I would never buy from an MLM, and I've actually lost friends and family members because when they come at me with the MLM thing, I just tell them how it is, and I tell them that they're being scammed, basically, and people don't like to hear that. But, you know, I have a feeling that they're taking over her Thrive stuff because it's something that she loved. It's something that she enjoyed. She loved getting online and showing people that, you know, you can make it. You can be self-sufficient on an MLM job. They tell you to lie. Yes, they do tell you to fake it till you make it, essentially. But it doesn't matter. It's something that everyone around her knew that she loved to do. And I think it makes them feel closer with her, that they're now